Hello, am I audible to you? Hi, this is Souradeep here. Good evening. Am I audible to all of you? Can you please let me know if I'm audible to all of you? Thank you. Okay. Okay, thanks for the confirmation. I have got the confirmation. Thanks. So this was a very volatile week, to be honest. Uh, After the last week that we had, and this was the Monday, that was the doji form. After that, a 400 point bounce, and then next day only a 200 point bounce, and then a 400 point fall, and today a 400 point rise. One of the most volatile weeks I have seen in my career uh, in the market. So quite a experience. I'm not sure that which way market wants to go. Only thing that I can right now say is that this 14,000, 16,420, and on the bottom end, possibly this 17,000, 15,740, 750. This is a very huge range of activity that we may see. Was very difficult market for all of us, and to be honest, no macro things were giving any cues. On the macro front, the whole week, if I was talking about this, US dollar index was actually falling. As you can see, last week it gave such a beautiful breakout. Then it was Friday, it was a little bit bearish, but all the week it kept on falling. And this is the reason why we saw such a tremendous bounce in our market. Okay. And now, and yeah, to give a another thing that today Vivek sir is will not be at have we will not have Vivek sir among us in the analysis. So I will have my analysis for maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes, and then uh, Thobit Brahmachari ji, who is our guest analyst, who he will take it up. Okay. Now it was such a wide swing. I really don't think any time in the recent past I have seen such a market. This was really unmanageable, and it was appearing the way it was gapping up and gapping down. Only one trade I gave to my TMP students, that was this Tata Elxsi. And what Tata Elxsi did was it took out my stop loss and then went up. Can happen. I was aiming for a level of possibly 8,800, 900. What it did is that it took our stop loss on this particular day, and then it went up, and then again gapped down, and today it went up. Can happen in this kind of market. Nothing works, and actually nothing worked. Now what we do going forward? Okay, let us look at this global RS chart. So what we will find here, that what Nifty was doing, Nifty was one of the worst performing markets. The that it has actually it is not right now, it is middle of the range. DAX was doing particularly well. The European indices, Hang Seng, because the China opened up, DAX, all of them are mild negative or positive, you can see. But Nifty was doing really bad. Now, right now, the worst indices that are doing are Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and I think the way the other markets are trying to move up, there can be a up move in this also, because the dollar index is also on the weakening path. Dollar index, if we look at the monthly chart, had this kind of a breakout, and we were expecting a blowout move, but it did not happen. It is pulling back. I don't know why it is doing. Possibly because of the data. If we look at the data that came yesterday, was this data. Okay, so you can see that all data were coming back, and particularly these two data. One is the manufacturing index came very bad, 2.6, and the jobless claim, the initial jobless claim that were reported yesterday were pretty bad. US jobless claims. So initial jobless claims were higher. So people were thinking that higher, the bad data, economic data, and existing home sales also down. So people were expecting bad data would prompt Federal Reserve to actually hold on aggressive rate hike. But I don't know how they will do it, because if we see the commodity prices, every commodity has again started going up. Apart from nickel, you can see every commodity has started going up because $1 index has receded, and also China is going to open from 1st of June. Okay, the lockdown will be over. So every commodity has again started going up. And if you look at the commodity basket, the agri commodity, you can see this monthly charts. Everything is at lifetime high. So how economy would do good, because the kind of inflation every market is having is near lifetime high. Sugar, wheat, lifetime high. Corn, soybean, cotton, everything is near lifetime high. So I don't know how it will be managed. But anyhow, because market has fallen so much, if we look at the market, because it has fallen so much, probably there was a bounce. I still overall on the macro front expect a bigger meltdown, but right now possibly market is not in a mood to give up, and market is fighting. Possibly it may again once again show 16,400, 500, and possibly if it breaches it may try to go up. I don't know, but things are very unclear to all of us at this moment, and quite unsure about what market wants to do. And that is why not very possible for me actually to guide how to trade next week. This is a huge range. You can understand 700 point, and every day Nifty is covering 400, 500 points. This is a market that cannot be handled on overnight, maybe intraday, if people are biased in one direction, and those moves are also very unreliable and getting overextended. It is extending, but have no confidence on any particular move. So really don't have anything to actually share, because if I talk about US indices, you can see it was a clear breakdown, 1200 point down day, then one red candle, and now again green candle. It is not very clean moves that used to happen in any bear market. This is the COVID fall. I'm not talking about even this also. But just a second. If I'm talking about any particular down move also, see, down moves are like this, okay? And these are tradable down moves. You can trade this kind of down moves. But this kind of moves, I don't know how you can trade. This is COVID move. This was unnatural, but this kind of move, these are natural move that can be traded on the downside also, the short side also. But if market is the headline indices, even this from 8,500 to 8,200, it's a very nice tradable down moves. Okay, nice tradable down moves, 61,000 to 51,000. So these down moves from when the trend is broken, it is 6,200 to 5,500. But don't know how one can trade this kind of a move in particular that took place this week and don't know whether market will be in this range. And in this range now, no level has any significance in between. Above 16,400, below 15,700. Those who are option sellers, intraday option sellers, they are also getting hit. Only thing you can do, you may short around 16,400. You may go long around 15,800. That you can do. Otherwise, I don't think in a stock level also it can be played. Reliance had a gigantic move today because this move like from 2500 to 2640. If you say Reliance, it rarely has this kind of candle, but this week was like that. It has two candles like this, 2440 to 2530 100-point candle, and today 140 points candle. But very, very difficult to trade. And possibly I have told my students in the TMP that to avoid, to wait out this period. This kind of move is really threatening. If I talk about India VIX, which is at very elevated level, 24, very elevated level. Last 2 years, it has been like this. Otherwise, VIX is more rationalized level, if you can see. But recently, it has been very high and quite difficult at this moment to manage the market and this kind of high volatility. You have to actually wait out this phase. There is no particular way to take view on any stock, any particular sector, any particular thing. It is not possible to take any view at this present of time. Those who attend the Friday session, they know that I never sound this kind of directionless in any of my analysis. But today, after having a week like this, really don't have any view on anything. The crude oil remains at very elevated level. If I go to the global thing, the crude oil remain at a very elevated level. Okay, so if I'm looking at crude oil, remain at a very elevated level. Crude oil WTI again within a range, like on the top 115 and on the down 113, 103, again a quite wide range, not a very easy range to trade at, but this is the war volatility. We cannot tell anything. So the normal models of trading, which normally I prefer, like GSS that I have given you, the crude trading webinar that I have given you, which are built for normal market, which have this kind of rhythmic move, are not at all applicable with this kind of heightened volatility. If you talk about natural gas, it will be even higher. See the kind of candles you are having, like more than 10% kind of a candle, 12%, 13%. How one can take a view is very difficult. It is so volatile and so drastically, like price from $9 to 6.5 in 3 days. Something like natural gas moving almost 30% in 3 days and then again moving up. Really impossible to trade at this point of time. So those who are traders, I will talk about right now. So save your capital at this point of time. Don't trade. Those who are investor can do it through SIPs uh, in the mutual funds, not through stocks. We don't know which stocks will be able to perform in this high inflation environment. So not about stocks. So at this point, if I will like to know if Tovit Brahmachari ji is with us. Tovit ji, are you there, sir? Hi, Tovit ji, are you there? Just a second, hold on. Yes, hi, sir. A warm welcome to you and thanks for joining. So please share your views, sir. You are not audible, sir. Not audible, sir. You have to make yourself audible. Thank you.
can I start the session now? Thank you. Good evening, friends. Good evening, Souradeep. I think he's here now. So now,
Yes, we
Mr.
can hear you.
Souradeep. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. So I think Souradeep has given a lot of information about the other commodities and sectors and trade confusion and everything. So what I'll do is I'll try to analyze and forecast some the future trends. And before that, I'll show you some historical perspective to the Nifty. So unless until you understand the historical thing, we cannot go further uh, forward. So this is actually a Nifty chart of a monthly time scale, and whenever historically, whenever it moves from the bottom to the top, okay, when it made a top, and it declined 25%. This is the 2018 one of the 2008 crisis. It declined 64%. After this is the only crisis when we were in March 2020, which declined about 39%. Okay, so all of these two declines are one of its kind. Historically, these will not may not repeat again in next. I think maybe next 12 to 13 years. So, but the remaining corrections, all of them are around limited to 20 to 30% only. Okay. So, whenever it up by 100%, gains by 100%, over 100%, it declines always around 20 to 28%. So, this is another case where it declined 28%. This is another case where it declined 39% in 2020. And now we declined only a simple can say 13 to 16%, I believe. 16% we declined. So this decline should come up to here 25%. This is the historical percentage. An average 20%. So most of the corrections was limited to roughly about maybe 10% to 13% of the most corrections happen like these corrections. If you go to a little lower time frame weekly corrections, these all corrections are limited to 10% corrections. Okay, and this is another 10% correction. This is another little bigger correction. Even this is also a little around 11 to 20%, 11 to 13% corrections. See, generally market corrects anywhere between 10 to 13% categories as a category one corrections. These are not the bear market corrections. These are the overall continuation trend and counter trends. That's all. So whatever corrections is happens more than 13 to 15% is called as a bear market corrections, which exceeds up to 25%. So that is the historical perspective of the market corrections. We are into that process of we are already completed category one correction, and we are already into the second category corrections. And these 2008 and 2020 corrections called as a category three, which are not possible now. I don't think that those corrections will happen now. But on a weekly chart, if you go to little weekly chart, on a weekly chart, what is happening is the market has formed a Nifty has formed a one what is called inside bar, right? It's an inside bar. This inside bar is always lost. It traded in the within the last week's trade only, right? So now the question here is, will it go further high or not? That's a question mark here. No, there is no possibility of going further high now. So I'll show you those certain other things to you, right? This is the Nifty channeling technique where it moving exactly in a channel, right? So this is a downward channel. It already made in a two lower bottoms, lower tops, and three lower tops. So before making another low, it has to move some counter trend within the downtrend, right? So these downtrend in it within the downtrend, this swing is ended now. So this swing little goes up to somewhere near to here or not. That's the question mark now. So generally, when we go to, I'll more explain something. I'll explain something also. So see, this is the divergence. When we look at the RSI on a closing prices basis, all right. So price has made a lower low and bouncing. RSI also making a lower low and bouncing. Okay. This is very important to know whether this yesterday the last 7 days momentum has any bullish thing or not. So actually we are into another short term very minor bull. No, I can't say bullish, but minor positive thing will happen now. So what is the criteria? See, this price has made a low and RSI also made a low, and also here also the same thing is happening. So these bonds will sustain. This last 1 week's bonds will definitely sustain for certain level. What is that level? We'll go to the daily chart and look at that. In a daily chart, what is happening is it's forming a broadening triangle of angle left side. It is widening the triangle. Generally, any kind of broadening formations are bearish formations. That's a normal uh, pattern analysis. Broadening formations are generally what we can say is bearish formations. Within these bearish formations also, there will be some, generally when we are in a bear market, the rises, the particularly counter trend rallies will hurt both sides. Not only short side and not only long side. It hurts both sides. That is exactly happening in the last 7 days. So look at these three bars. Okay, three bars are nothing but a parallel bottoms. Right. Within these three bars, it has formed a doji candle. Generally, southern dojis will not have any trend reversal implications, but they have to confirm by closing above the thing, that doji high. So exactly this has closed above this Jodi, but it also closed, but the next follow through this day is not there. So it gapped down. Again, it moved. All the losses of this day is recovered today. So now the question is whether it will move above this or not. So look at this again in RSA also. See, this has doesn't have any divergence, but it has broken out of a prior high here and out of a channel, right? So this is one kind of a bullish signal. At the same time, it is also above the 14 period RSA, also above the 20 period average. That means whenever it moves above or below, generally this is a bull trend, and this is another bearish, and this another bullish, and this is another bearish. This is strategy, basic strategy called as a dynamic RSA, which I generally I used to follow to recognize the trends. Now, once this 20 period average also turns up, this has to be turns up, then we'll get a confirmation for the up move. As of now, it is there is no short position as of now, but at the same time for a long term or long position you need to wait. So 1 second, again this is a big gap, right? This big gap has to be tested again. Here also look at this within this swing. Here also there is another what is called uh, base. Similar base has happened here, right? This similar base have a different, not much difference between these. These have a two big bars, but these have the small bars. Gaps are there. In these consolidations or the formation, these kind of formations, we don't get any positional trade simply. So if you go short, you'll be stuck with the next day gap up. If you go long, next day it will be gap down. Those kind of moves will hurt in these bases. Generally, even in the another downswing also there are bases, right? This is another base. This is a small tight range basis. So these are common bases in any downtrend. These bases has to be sustained either to be upside breakout or to be downside breakout. Let us think about this level have another importance level. So this is nothing but a 23.6 level. See, so this has to be crossed first, okay, on a closing basis, and then this parallel high has to be closed, and this is to be need to be filled. Then only we will consider the trend is reversed on the upside about up to here. It will be tested at this here. Unless until this gap is not filled, or this gap has to be tested and coming back, again the downswing will come down. Again, suppose if the Nifty goes up to here, coming back closing below on a previous day low, then automatically it tests this 15,290 or 15,150 levels. So that's my character. Otherwise, so if at all it goes above this level, so there is another uh, indicator will have a Bollinger Bands. So as of now, the 20 DMI is also within the range only. So this is another important character of a downtrend. Unless until, see, the 20 DMI is always in a downswing, otherwise it will be an upswing within this. So this has to be turned up. So here also turned up, you should turn up. Then only you will have a confidence of going long side. Otherwise, I will not be in a hurry to take a long positions in index on a positional basis. Intraday is completely different character. Intraday, we have a very limited trade time and we have very limited targets and stop losses. Forget about intraday, but long-term trends are still, we are in a bear market, but these consolidations will happen, called as a continuation counter trend consolidations. That's all. So now the question is, what is next week's view? So is already discussed. As already discussed, we have an inside bar, right? Uh, Last week is the current close is nothing but an inside bar. This is an inside bar. That means this week's trade is completely in the range of this bar. Okay, if you look at that high, the high is 404, but here it is less. Okay, 399, just 4 mistake. So even also low is not tested. There is another positive thing is that this is a low, higher low and higher low. So Nifty hasn't made any lower low, but it has been bouncing. In generally any downtrend, even in the previous downtrends also, suppose if you take a 10 years history, so whenever market shifts into the downtrend, look at this. Uh, the lows will be tested and bounces. See, look at this. This low was tested and bounced. Again here also, this low was tested here and bounced. So generally the lows were tested and bounces, but those will not sustain for a longer period. So these need to be understood. We are in a long-term downtrend, but medium and minors are up or low. Not even I think minor trend is consolidating and intermediate trend is also still not any decisive signals are not there. So this is the thing we need to understand first. And what will be we are doing for the next week? That's a question mark here, right? The question here is, don't be in a hurry to take long positions now. Only above this will be tested, and we don't know, it may be like this, and again here also we maybe see the similar kind of move from here, this level, or it can fill the gap and come back. So that is I am expecting now anywhere between 16,400 or 16,600 level will be very big crucial for next week. So these things should be keep in mind, and according to that, please take your own strategy, whether you go to options or positional thing. But trade on positional basis will be very difficult now, at least for another 3 to 5 days. That means next week is very crucial. So now we'll go to the some sectors also. So what sectors are analyzing is one of the most important thing is we need to look at the IT sector. So IT sector led this downfall. Nifty corrected just 16%, but IT corrected more than that. IT corrected from its top to bottom now almost 20, I think more than 20, 25%. Yeah, it corrected 28%, right? So IT led this bear market, IT led this rally. But look at the current structure. So IT from here to here, it declined by 14%, right? 14.84%. But what is RSI doing here? It is not making any lower low, right? It has made, in fact, it hasn't made any. I think there is some network corrections. Okay, so some network corrections are important. Okay, so am I audible? Please answer my question. Yes, I'm audible. Somebody please answer. Yes, thank you very much. See, this is a 14.84% decline, but the RSI hasn't made any lower low. It is actually, this is called as a squeeze, RSI squeeze. This RSI squeeze, where it is happening, it's happening in a, it is happening in a oversold, near oversold zone, right? So this is a almost 20, and this the high is almost 30. So in any case, there is one small positive divergence, right? There is already one positive divergence happened here. So in any case, this RSI goes up to this level, that means 40 zone. This will test, almost this gap will be tested, IT stocks. So be careful of shorting IT stocks because of they are looking very weak now, but they will not be weak for anymore. Okay. So understand this logic. So generally these fees, if the squeeze is coming out of the this level, that means and enters this 40 zone, it is the bear is almost done. Okay. So now what is the targets on upside if the RSI goes first this 35 level and then 47? So this is a gap area is the target for that. So look at the IT constituents first, IT index constituents, and look for the little relatively performing stocks, better stocks, and those go ahead with them for a long positions. And the other index is the metal index, right? Metal index is very interestingly priced now. So it has formed a base at this level, that is almost 5,100 level and 5,300 level. These are the base. Okay, this base is hasn't moved, not broken since last one and a half year. So now what is the case is here? It is I'll remove this Fibonacci from here. Uh, See, now the bounce is about 23.6% and still within the range itself, but the RSI is bouncing. Price hasn't made any lower low, but RSI has made a lower low. This is as a Cardinalian method where if the price hasn't made any lower low, but the RSI indicator makes a lower low and bounces. That's a bullish sign. So this bullish sign where it goes, RSI test will this resistance line, and the price will also will test this gap area. So like in IT, metal also in the similarly poised. Don't be bearish on metal stocks for now, and don't be bearish on IT stocks now. So the reason I'll tell you, the reason is nothing. They are oversold and bouncing from the oversold conditions, many of them. So now be positive on these two sectors. Now the next I would like to show some of the FMCG sector. So this FMCG is, I am very positive on this sector because this sector is underperformed for a long period. Even every stock, every other sectors made an higher highs, but this doesn't have any higher levels. But now look at this. This is called as a complex head and shoulder pattern. It is nothing but a stage one base. So once this stage one break out, that is 38,800 closes above that level, that means this level. If at all it closes above this level, then look for the FMCG stocks like ITC, and there are many stocks. There are many stocks. Hindustan Unilever is there, Dabur is there. So look at that FMCG constituents. Why I'm very bullish on this is I'll show you the other chart also after uh, explaining one more index is oil and gas. So this is an oil and gas stock which is also looking bullish. It is not corrected much, but again it is bouncing because of the Reliance Industries majority, and there is no the decline in this histogram is nothing but momentum has declined, but the bearish momentum has declined, and RSI is also, look at this RSI is also above 50 levels. So this is the bullish structure. So look for these two things in the sector things. I'll explain some more things on sector analysis, like uh, I'll go to stock charts, and actually this because of the internet connection I lost the connections. Now I'll show you the relative rotation graphs where we can have Indian sectors. Okay, look at this. Which sector is very, very bullish is FMCG, which have a higher relative performance, and then oil and gas, and then pharma and healthcare. These are the things to be very positive. And leading indicators, I think from metal indices is still weakening, just entered into a weakening component, weakening quadrant, but still have a potential to move and coming back to into the leading content. Even in the IT also, this is in simply what we can call is in a weakening content, but it is moving higher. I believe it is near to the this improved quadrant. So look at the IT. Yeah, it is here only. It just inching toward the improving quadrant. So be careful. Sorry, here this IT is here. It is almost end of the weakening, lagging thing. So this once this lagging is over, then it will bounces and moves up to here. So this takes a lot of time. Be positive on IT, FMCG, and metals as of now. So this is the relative performance. And now the other sector I wanted to focus is on the fertilizer stocks, which are the very looking very, very good, and the defense stocks. These are the very looking very positive. I'll show you one chart for you on I think this yesterday I have given in ITC has given. This is the Coromandel International. Look at this weekly chart. It is exactly a formation of almost 48 weeks. So this depth is almost 25% depth is there. And if anyone wants to bet on fertilizer stocks because of the rainy season is going to start and the pickup will be there, and the top line growth will be automatically comes in the next quarter. So if anyone wants to be bullish on fertilizer stocks, this is one stock please consider for. So the buy zone is this between 929 and 956. Then automatically the minimum target is of this depth. That means 25% from there, and the stop loss is just thing. Just 1:, I think 1:5 to 6 risk reward ratios will work on this. But be careful about that. It's not an intraday trades. These are all positional and cash market trades only. Don't be go into, though it is in a futures derivative stock, but don't go into the derivative segment. Go into the cash market and hold it for some period, at least for next I think in 48 weeks. It will not take 48 weeks, but it takes only less than half of the time. That means around 20 weeks you can get this target achieved in 25%. Okay, and the other stock which I am here today, I posted in yesterday I posted in the StockEdge social. This is the Britannia. Unfortunately, the stop loss was triggered yesterday because of the market gap down and other thing. And today it resumed its trend. This is the character of ascending triangle pattern. The ascending triangle pattern is generally moves many times before the formation. It moves above or below. Okay. of the pattern space. So now it is decisively broken out. Even if you look at the volume also, the volume is also very higher than last few days, right? So, and again the RSI squeeze is here, and RSI entered just 60, above 60 is strong bullish zone. So this squeeze is out of this space. So be bullish on Britannia also, again on a positional cash market basis. Okay, and there is one more stock I would like to. I think today I posted in StockEdge Social. What is HAL? Yeah, HAL is clearly in a uptrend, swing, another downswing, and moving higher. So it moved, just tested and moved, just closed at the previous prior pivot point. So anyone wants to buy this stock, buy this above 760 with this stop loss of just 6% of there, that is here, and it will test minimum of 2000 to 2100 levels next 3 to 4 weeks time. So even everything is bullish on indicator base. It's a traditional indicators. I don't confuse you any modern indicators, nothing. It's a traditional indicators, but understand them from where they are bouncing, from what is the structure within the price compared to the price structure. So this is my, I have given 30 minutes. I lost some few minutes, but I am ready to take questions if anyone wants to ask. I'll take 3 to 5 questions now. Uh, Anyone, please. RSA value, I use this 14 period only. There is no change in this. RSA value, Mr. Rajpal Patel, I use 14 period. Yeah. Ankit Agarwal is asking about the banking index, right? I'll explain about the banking index, right? Uh, Before I go, see, the trend is clearly down. Again, it tested the previous bottom. Again, within the previous week's thing, similar to Nifty, there is no change in the Nifty, but I'm not uh, bullish like FMCG or IT sectors, but little cautious about the Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty moves because of the very ferociously of 1000 points to 700 to 1000 points in a day. So there is no positive in any indicator. I'll show you the RSI also. Still, this is a divergence again, where yeah, it has made a price has a made a higher high, but indicator has made a lower low, right? So this is the divergence. So this divergence need to be confirmed once this is broken. Right? Once this line has to be broken, RSI has to breach this level above this level. That means above 50. Simple reason. So that's the long-term trend. What is about the daily chart? So the daily chart is still in the even resistance line is there and still within the channel or below the resistance level, but there are several bottom tops are here on a this level. So Bank Nifty has to move across this level. That means 34,800 level is the strongest resistance level. Even if it closes above this level, automatically this channel is low negative. So it has to close above this level and fill this gap and moves higher. Okay, and even Bollinger Band is also even 20 period average also in the same gap area. So that's the Bank Nifty case. The because of today's and these 2 days and this today's move, this divergence happened. So again, this swing high is there, and the momentum has declined. The bear momentum has declined. So once this signal comes, and if it moves above this level, and RSI need to be tested little on a 44 to 50 zone. That's a big uh, signal. So these are all counter trends within the downtrend, big downtrend. These are all counter trends which have many bases like we will be confused within this zone. Unless until there is a decisive move, we can't go ahead with either long or short in anything. So indices are very confusing status now, but overall downtrend has come up. In a benchmark like Nifty, the downtrend will continue. My expectations by October, September, October, there will be a bottom, and from September to Jan, these 4 to 5 months bottom formation will be happen. Maybe rectangle formation, maybe inverted head and shoulder, maybe ascending triangle. These kind of base formations will have. Those are all stage 1 basis. Now we are in stage 4. So in market conditions, it's the stage 4 condition, so which is a on an overall downtrend. Renuka Sugar, somebody asking about the chemical sector. Yes, chemical sector I'm positive, particularly specialty chemicals. There is one stock which was, I think, Gaur and Gaur, I think, Gaur. Yeah. Just like just now I have tested that. One second. Be on the, where is it? Yeah, one second. One second. There is one stock, I just checked it. It was there. There is one chemical sector, even Sudarshan Chemicals is looking good. Recently, it was bounced very sharply upside. So, where that is going to be one of the best pick now. I think even some of the like HSCL is also coming out of the stage 1 base. Himadri Specialty Chemicals is also one point. So somebody is asking about auto index. Uh, yeah, need to confirm this. This is the line. It has to break above this line. Otherwise, I'm being positive now. This has given a green, so I think it will test this level. We need to check this behavior at this level. Even this is also around 50 to 60 zone is very crucial, RSA. Once this price breaks about this level, this RSA will definitely comes about 60, and this will move above the zero line. So need to wait for to break above this level. So I'll be very confident that once this is breakout happened, some of the rally will make up. But overall, sectors are looking little nervous and overall in a downtrend, but they are showing some improvement than the benchmark. That means Nifty 50. So earlier I shown you the this comparative relative comparison is comparative to Nifty 500. If you compare with the Nifty 500, these are the best stocks. If you look at the small and mid cap stocks, they are very uh, in a. I think they are looking very what we can say very weak because they declared more than uh, 1 second, Nifty mid cap 100. Look at this. See, their fall is look at the how many bottoms it made. Nifty has made only 3 bottoms, but this has made a lot of bottoms. But this is a parallel bottom. So giving little sense to some of the bonds, but I'm not convinced of some of the small caps. See, this is very poor. If you compare with the Nifty 50, it is very poor. There is no. I don't think that it will be recover very fast. Now, I think I'll close in next 2 minutes. Please ask another question, please. Anyone? Hope making lower low and sooner the price will be yes. Chemical, I answered this. Bank answered this. RSA value anchored. Renuka Shikhar, yes. Yes, it looks bullish, but buy above this level, which is earlier support, now resistance also above that level. Otherwise, please wait for that. But the doji has confirmed for a reversal on upside. So, but confirmed buy is only above this bar. Above this bar is 51.20. 51.50 is a buy price. Okay. Yeah, somebody, yeah, this one. I referred to this stock. I refer to this stock. Yeah. Just now I said this stock. See, this is the breakout, even the multi-week breakout, and it has very, very strong potential to move higher. I think everyone hopes that I missed the name, but this is the stock which I would to give a positive bias for that. Thank you very much, Nagarajan. Yeah. Thank you very much, Nagarajan. Uh, Lalpat, no diagnostic stock for now. At least they have to settle. Uh, Thank you very much, sir. I think I'll close the session now. We'll meet next session if possible. I think IT sector, you can just IT index constituents only, don't go behind them. So look at the only index constituents for now and select the outperformance against the Nifty IT itself. So then you will get a good bets on them. Thank you very much. So I'll end the session now. It is already 6:57. Thank you very much for participation. If any query, please, so we can meet again. I think the next time, whenever we meet, I'll try to clarify more and more questions. Thank you very much.